Welcome back, friends. It's Anders. Today I am making the Bramble. This is a gin cocktail, extremely popular because it is extremely delicious. It's sour, it's got berries, and it's perfect on a hot day, which today is here in Chicago. Now, this one comes from the 80s, so if you're a fan of the 80s, it's actually not like any of the other cocktails from the 80s. The 80s cocktails aren't so great, in my humble opinion, but this one is actually great. So, without further ado, let's get to it. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for more sips, tips, and recipes, and let's go make the Bramble to the bar. So the Bramble, this one dates back to the 1980s, mid-80s, Dick Bradsell. Who was Dick Bradsell? Dick Bradsell came up with the espresso martini, as well as the Bramble. You could say that Dick Bradsell was the ultimate bartender of the 80s because everybody else was making flashy neon drinks that didn't taste so great. And he was making really well-crafted cocktails in the 80s when it was a time when crafting cocktails was not actually all that common. I mean, no offense. So how did he come up with this drink? It came down to an ingredient called crème de mûre. Crème de mûre is something we haven't talked about on this channel, and I will talk about it a little bit more when we pull out the ingredients. In short, it's a blackberry liqueur. Apparently, he tasted some crème de mûre, this blackberry liqueur, and it reminded him of when he was a child picking blackberries on the Isle of Wight. So he decided, I'm gonna make a cocktail that is an all British drink. And this is my favorite part of the story because he thought that this was actually a failure of a concept of a cocktail, even though the cocktail itself was no failure at all, because he found the only good crème de mûre came from France, and the lemons he had to get from somewhere outside of England.
But I guess the lemons came from Spain.
But the drink itself was certainly not a failure. This is an outstanding drink. In fact, usually what I like to do on the channel here is to have my take on a classic. And I've tried different things with this cocktail, but I came to the conclusion that my personal favorite version of this drink is the one that Dick Bradsell did. So I'm gonna make that one today. And I'm gonna enjoy it in front of all of you. Now the booze. Bringing back the bottle slide. That's what's special about today. For this cocktail, you will need gin, crème de mûre, fresh lemon juice, simple syrup, and fresh blackberries. This is my semi-rich syrup, so it's 1.5 parts sugar to 1 part water. So, gin. Gin makes you sin. For the gin, I am using the Botanist Islay Dry. It has strong botanicals. It has some punch, and we're gonna be mixing this on crushed ice with blackberry liqueur, syrup, citrus, all this stuff. So I want a gin that's gonna hold up. Crème de mûre actually was a little difficult for me to source here in Chicago. I got one, this is Combier, a little perfumey if you have it on its own, but very good. I do like it, it's rich. Of course, if you're trying to make the original Bramble, you're gonna want crème de mûre. But if you have a raspberry liqueur, that will work very well. Chambord or a framboise. If you have crème de cassis, give it a shot. It's gonna give you a similar berry sweetness, but it's obviously not gonna taste like blackberries, but that would work though, it would be good. And if you don't have any of these fine French liqueurs, well, you could use like a blackberry syrup. Those are my substitute options for you. A lemon juice, freshly squeezed, syrup, we already talked about this, blackberries. That'll be for garnish, yeah. That'll be for garnish. Let's build. Okay, I think we're looking pretty good. Let's start with the gin. We're gonna do 1.5 ounces of your dry gin. Let's add the lemon. 3/4 ounce of lemon juice, and then 1/2 ounce of your simple syrup. Now we can add ice and shake. We don't have to shake it very long. Add a little bit of air, get some dilution, but we're gonna end up pouring this over crushed ice. 5 to 10 seconds. Get your lowball glass, and we can fill it up with crushed ice. Not all the way to the top, you'll see. Strain the cocktail right over the crushed ice. With a spoon, I'm just gonna give it a real quick stir, top it off with a bit more crushed ice. And now we float crème de mûre right on top. You could just pour this over the top, but I'm gonna measure out 1/2 ounce of the crème de mûre right over the top, nice and gentle. We'll top it with a little bit more crushed ice. For garnish, this is where the blackberries come in. I think originally it was just 1 blackberry, but I'm gonna do 3, because I got them. And I'm gonna do a little lemon wheel. There we are. Dick Bradsell's Bramble. Cheers. Oz, would you like to join me?
Okay. I'm here as the taste tester.
Yes.
Oh, cheers. That's really good.
It is, isn't it?
That tastes like a popsicle. Tastes like a melted like berry popsicle. It's so refreshing.
Man, it's so good.
It's so good.
What I like is there's definitely a sweetness from the berry, but a tartness from the lemon. Of course, it's ice cold, but you still get the botanicals from the gin. This one holds up really well. I encourage you to make this one at home. If you don't know this drink yet, then I'm glad you do now. Oz, would you like to do a sign off here?
Oh, wow, it's been so long. Okay, thanks for watching. If you like this video, like and subscribe. If you don't like this video, like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.